Bob Brown was born and raised in Cleveland. He was 2 years into his career as a Husker when legendary head coach Bob Devaney took the helm in 1962. Devaney called Brown, who played on the line on offense and linebacker on defense, the best two-way player I ever coached. Brown went on to play 10 seasons in the NFL for the Eagles, Rams, and Raiders, making 6 Pro Bowls. He's a college football and pro football Hall of Famer, and his number is retired at Nebraska. We talked to Bob Brown in Oakland, California, where he reflected on his time at Nebraska during a very turbulent time in our nation's history.
And it was a culture shock. I just turned 18 years old. I was from the Lower East Side of Cleveland, all black community. I'd never been around, associated with, at any level, whites. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust in the middle of this white community and very few of my brethren there. It was a difficult time. The 60s, that was a difficult time. The dynamic in the country was very, very difficult and different. There were times when I felt very isolated. I had the support, of course, of the coaching staff. Coach Devaney's door was always open. He was always trying to figure out, how can we make it better, Robert? I've heard that so many times I can't begin to tell you. And that made it better for me, to have someone that I could talk to that understood the pain that I was going through because of the transition from one type of environment to a totally different one. The people of Nebraska really welcomed me. They took me in as one of their own. Coach Devaney insisted that we hung together as a team. I remember back in '61, the scuttlebutt was when we were going to play Oklahoma State, that the black athletes stayed with black professionals in their homes. Black doctors, black dentists, black attorneys, and Coach Devaney, not gonna happen. You know, we practice and play as a team, we ride as a team. That's very impressive for me. Coach was just the most magnificent man, other than my dad, the most magnificent man that I've ever sat down and talked to. I was walking across campus and someone said, "Hey, you've been drafted." I said, "Huh? Hey, you've been drafted." What are you talking about? I think the Denver Broncos drafted me, and there was an old AFL at that time and the NFL, 2 separate entities. And I was the first guy chosen by Denver. And I was the second guy picked by the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's how I found out. My theory was always be the hammer, never the nail. Attack and attack relentlessly. And that's what I did. I had this theory that if it was born from a woman, I could hurt it and I could block it. I didn't need to be applauded. I needed for you, as a defensive end, to put me in your Hall of Fame. I don't care. That's what I needed. I needed for you to walk off the field and look back over at me and think, boy, I don't want to see him again. That's what I needed. That drove me.